Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here again today. Please forgive my setup. I'm just trying something a little bit different and there's not a clean place for me to film in my home today. So before I get on a cleaning frenzy, I wanted to jump on here real quick and make a video. But I've been meaning to make this video for a while now. So I am talking about one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, fragrance house that I have smelled so far. Now, I was not sponsored for this. I was sent nothing for free. I bought everything here with my own money and no one is asking me to say anything. I actually just don't think that this house gets enough love and I don't understand why, because the quality is outstanding. I love the branding. I love the concept. I love everything about this fragrance house and I will never stop talking about them. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Kerosene Fragrances. I've talked about them a little bit on my channel, not to the extent that I am fangirling about them. John Pegg, who is the nose behind all of the fragrances and the creative director, he actually used to make YouTube videos as well. He's a mechanic by trade. And so he combined his two passions and came up with Kerosene Fragrances. I think he's done a stellar job. I don't know if he is a classically trained perfumer. I'm guessing probably not. All of his creations are amazing and I'm a huge fan. So I'm hoping to introduce this brand to you if you have not heard of them already. They definitely need some more love. They're incredibly underrated and I think that they are incredibly fairly priced. They are not super expensive in my opinion compared to some other niche brands. This is very much an indie brand. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Some of the fragrances I'm going to talk about, I do have bottles of. Others that I have are, I bought a discovery set from them. You can buy a set of 3 or you can buy the discovery set with everything in it. I decided to pay for a discovery set with 3 samples in it. They are very substantial, very generous samples. The 3-pack is $18. I can't remember what the other one is. I think it's $50, but these are sprays. Praise Jesus. So I think it's very cool that he keeps everything very simple, yet very in line with the aesthetics of the rest of his brand. So super simple. All of the samples come in here and he always signs the inside of the tin, as does Andy Tower and lots of other indie brands. So I think that's a great touch. So the first one that I want to talk about is called Blackmail. This scent is so interesting to me because the first time that I smelled it, I immediately thought of black licorice. But there is one called Black Vines, and that is more licorice based. This is not necessarily licorice based. It just made me think of licorice. It's a little bit fruity. It's incredibly smoky, not overly so it's not gonna smell like a campfire, like say Mancera's Eau de Vanille. Super smoky, that fragrance in my opinion. This one is just the right amount of smoke. It's very woodsy. There's a little amber in here as well. This is really amazing and this would smell stellar on a man. If you like smoky, incensey fragrances, you would absolutely love this. There's a touch of sweetness in here. It's sweet, it's smoky. I wouldn't say it's spicy. It's maybe flirting with the incense realm a little bit. Little bit of amber. Oh, this is so good. The lasting power on all of the fragrances I'm going to talk about are literally 8 hours plus on my skin. Clothing, forget about it. Your clothes are going to smell like it forever. So just get really good laundry detergent. It's got a little bit of a vanillic touch as well. But yeah, a little bit of sweetness from those berries. It doesn't really say what berries are in it, I think. It's not marshmallowy, but it's almost like you've been cooking something really sweet over an open campfire. And now your clothes smell like that. I actually despise the way that campfire smells, but I love this and I would love smelling like this. Sweet, smoky campfire. That is Blackmail from Kerosene. Fantastic. Okay. This next one I'm going to talk about is probably one of the ones I was the most excited when it came out to try. This is Follow from Kerosene, and you can even tell the juice is so dark. This is a coffee inspired fragrance. If you are a coffee addict like I am, of rich, dark, bold, thick coffee, I love the darker the better. I love coffee. I love smelling coffee. I love drinking and enjoying coffee. And I love the boost that coffee gives me. Coffee makes me so incredibly happy. So I definitely think coffee is an experience, and so is this fragrance. Imagine when you open up a fresh bag of coffee, whether it's the beans or the grounds, it's that realistic, almost freshly brewed, rich, dark coffee. It's not milky like Intense Cafe, and it's not anywhere close to black opium. Imagine that there's grounds left at the bottom of your black coffee, and that's what this smells like, is the grounds. And there's a little bit of sweetness in there. And there's ever so slightly like a syrupy maple undertone in there. It's rich, it's bold. If you don't like coffee, you have zero business wearing this, because this is a fresh brewed cup of coffee with interest. It's fantastic, and I love it. My husband is kind of like, you drink coffee anyway, why do you want to smell like it? Because I love it, and it looks like coffee too. But anyway, I love that. If you love coffee, get your nose on that. It will not disappoint. If you love Intense Cafe, if you love Ristretto Cafe, if you maybe have a fondness for black opium, I think even if you like something like Cacao Porcelana from Atelier Materi, you would like this too. They're in the same universe. Love this so much. I want to drink it. Amazing. Another one that I have a sample of, this is a smaller decant from Lucky Scent. This is Kerosene's Sweetly Known. This came out recently in the past 2 years, I think. This is not as gourmand as I was expecting it to be. They were marketing it as a very, very gourmand fragrance. Again, this gives me slightly Cacao Porcelana vibes, because I think there's cacao in here as well. This one registers to my nose much more maple syrup-ish than Follow does. And I think that's just because there's supposed to be caramel in here. We'll never know though, because my nose doesn't detect caramel. This smells more like breakfast. This smells like American breakfast with maple syrup on pancakes. But the edges of those pancakes are a little bit burnt. I love that. Coffee is my first love language. Breakfast food is my other love language. So fun fact about Amber, in case you cared. So yeah, there's supposed to be cardamom in here, caramel. There's supposed to be a note of sugar. I don't find this to be that sweet, where I would say this smells like sugar. Has a little bit of a maple syrup quality to me. And Follow is supposed to have a maple syrup quality. This one smells even more so. Yeah, American pancakes with maple syrup, and the edges are burnt. That sounds so weird. Don't you guys love the mental pictures that fragrance reviewers paint? And you're like, what the heck does that smell like? If you like gourmands, get on it, but don't expect to smell like dessert. This is more like maple breakfast food. I really love that. I think that's incredibly unique, by the way. Sweetly Known from Kerosene. Okay, this is my last decant from Lucky Scent. This is Tryptic. I think that this is really interesting because this is a complete departure from what I know to be true about Kerosene. I think that Kerosene makes really amazing, sweet, thick, warm, cozy fragrances. This to me is a new experience from what I know to be true about them. And they've done it really, really well. This is much more for people who like fresh fragrances, maybe a touch green, a little bit of a citrus quality. It's got like a lemon pepperiness to it, a little zing, like not hot pepper, but like black pepper, citrus, and a little herbal. It's really, really good. It's really interesting. I hope this isn't insulting, but it's like a lemon flavored cough drop kind of zing. Like it wakes you up. I don't know that it's my cup of tea. I wouldn't wear this, but I think it's a really interesting creation. And I think that if you like citrusy, maybe a little bit mentholy, cooling kind of fragrances, definitely check this out. I think this would be incredible for warm weather coming up, for the right person who really likes a good citrus and freshy. But what I really get is like a zing of lemon zest and black pepper. and then like some underlying green herbaceousness. Really, really interesting. It's actually like, as I'm smelling it, it gives me like that cooling sensation. It's almost menthol. And the best thing I can relate it to is a really refined lemon cough drop. If that sounds appealing to you, get a sample of this. I really think this is gonna be your cup of tea. So that is Tryptic from Kerosene. And then the last two that I'm gonna talk about, I loved so much when I sampled them. I immediately had to have bottles of them. And so I can't decide which one I love more. The next one I'm gonna talk about is called Unforsaken. I love this presentation. I don't care. You can keep your rhinestones. You can keep your velvet boxes. I love everything about the aesthetic of these bottles. And I think that just because they're so simple, but so cool at the same time. I don't know. I love it. I've always been a fan of their bottles. Oh, guys. Oh my gosh. Guys, girls, human beings. Smell this, please. Please smell this. Please smell this. So this fragrance is sort of an anomaly to me because it is not at all what I expected it to smell like. I watched hundreds of reviews on this one. This is a little bit older of a creation, as is the next one I'm going to talk about. But from the note breakdown, even to what other reviewers were saying, it just goes to show we all have different noses. We all detect different things. I was not at all expecting this to smell the way it does to me. I am not disappointed, but I bought this because the note breakdown says there's like two different types of oranges. There's clementine and tangerine, I think. There's coconut in here. And then there's some other things like vanilla and orange blossom. Gosh, Kerosene does vanillas so well. This vanilla is so rich and so decadent. I don't get the orange coconut situation. I don't get the clementine tangerine coconut situation at all, which is what drew me to wanting this fragrance. This is such a full-bodied vanilla. The citruses are a supporting role, like those orange notes are a supporting role. The vanilla and orange blossom, it's just this round, fluffy, not even fluffy because I feel like that still doesn't describe it. It's this very round, thick vanilla with so many other things going on. I think what the coconut does in here is just give it that coconut has obviously that waxy quality when you consume it, but when you smell it too, it has the creaminess that I wish sandalwood did. I think sandalwood's also in here. My God, such a beautiful vanilla. This is such a beautiful vanilla. When I first smelled it, it almost gave me like an indolic kind of vibe to it. That went away really quickly, and now I don't smell that anymore when I wear it. This is something that is incredibly cozy, incredibly snuggly. This is very close encounter. This is like wool sweater type of vibe. This is amazing for the cold weather, and I wore this a lot this fall and winter. It is a gourmand. It is a gourmand. It's not disgustingly sweet. You're not going to smell like baked goods. It's a little difficult to describe, but I'm so captivated by this scent. Thick vanilla, orange blossom, coconut, some supporting citruses down below, and it's just magnificent. One of the best creations he's ever done. There's still a ton of fragrances that I have not gotten my nose on from this house. I will never be without this fragrance. Never. Unforsaken by Kerosene. Amazing vanilla, orange blossom, coconut. Get your nose on this. John Peg, please don't ever discontinue this, please. I love this so much. I don't have to disclaimer this anymore because we're tired of it. All fragrance is unisex. These are not marketed towards men or women. They're marketed towards everybody. So wear what appeals to you and be confident in that. The last one I'm going to talk about is Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. This was my first love. This was my first love from the brand, from the house. This is honey, Earl Grey tea, honey, and waffle cone. This is like a warm hug on a cold, rainy day. It's so therapeutic. I hate drinking Earl Grey tea, but I love the way it's displayed in here. It's It's just the right amount of floral. The honey's not overpowering if you have a hard time with honey fragrances. It's very present, but it doesn't overtake the whole fragrance. And then there's like that vanilla waffle cone in there too. It's the perfect drink when it's super cold and dreary outside. This is your little drop of sunshine in a really cold and dark climate. I think that this is just a very happy fragrance. It is sweet. It's considered a gourmand. If you hate gourmands though, give this a try, because I think this would change your mind, because this is not the gourmand that smells like cupcakes and edible desserts. This is, I think that Earl Grey tea in there really keeps it from being annoyingly sweet. It gives it that floral, that something interesting. And then if you like tea fragrances, I think this would still appeal to you as well. It's a sweet, I think it's called a London Fog. It's like a tea latte. Anyway, it's with Earl Grey tea. I highly recommend this. It's the best cup of tea you've ever had. I would wear this in warm weather if I was inside in the air conditioning, but I would be really easy on the trigger. These are gonna last you 8 to 10 hours easily. On your clothes even longer, easily. That is Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. That is a pioneer as far as I'm concerned in the fragrance industry. Well done to John Pegg and the Kerosene team. These are masterpieces, truly. I love this so much. Again, another fragrance I will never be without. All right, guys, so that's all that I have to share with you today. Let me know if you love this fragrance house as much as I do. What are some other indie brands that you love that are not getting enough attention, whether on social media, just the fragrance industry in general? There's so many wonderful creations out there. So I hope this encourages you to go smell something different, and do not discount indie brands. I think that they're incredible. I challenge you to go out there and smell different. This is a really great place to start. Let me know about some other indie brands below, and I would be more than happy to talk about those as well. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.